Bonjour! Welcome to another episode of French Moments with me, Sewenam Chachu. It's always a pleasure to come your way, especially when I have feedback from you, knowing that you are making an effort and you are improving in your French. That is really the import or the reason why we are coming up with these videos, to make the French language simple for every learner. Alright, so we learned about introductions and titles in previous episodes, and today we're going to have a little twist of getting to know you. You know that there are certain questions you ask if you want to know people beyond just hello, hi, bye. And so these will look at two of those questions in this episode. The first is to find out where they live. So we have où habites-tu or où habitez-vous. Okay, où habites-tu, où habitez-vous all mean where do you live, but then it depends on the level of formality or informality. So où habitez-vous is obviously more formal and où habites-tu is less formal. So let's assume that as a JHS student, you've gone for some classes and you've met a friend, you played football together and it was fun, and you think, I want to hang out with this young man a little more. Or you're in secondary school and you went for some classes and you met somebody who was fun to hang around with, so you ask them, où habites-tu? Alright, but it's also possible that you've gone for a work conference as a worker and you had lunch at a table and the person from the other NGO was so interesting and you decided, I would like to get to know this person a bit more. So you can ask, où habitez-vous? Where do you live? Where do you live? Both of the questions mean where do you live, and the responses can be varied depending on where the person lives, but it's usually j'habite and then you add where you live. Now there are two options, so you can either say j'habite à Djoulu, or you can say j'habite Djoulu without the a, and both are right. You could also say j'habite Kumasi, especially if the person maybe traveled to come for the meeting. So j'habite Kumasi, j'habite Madina, j'habite Legon, j'habite Fafraha. Wherever the person lives, you just use j'habite à or j'habite, and then you directly mention the name of the area where you live. Alright, and then we can also ask, where do you come from? Where do you come from? You know, in our culture, it's very important for us to find out where the person is from the south like us or from the north like us, whether the person is from a place we are used to or we are familiar with. And sometimes we are asking out of curiosity, maybe because the name is not what we are used to or the name sounds a bit exotic. So d'où viens-tu or d'où venez-vous, they all mean where do you come from. Okay, d'où viens-tu, d'où venez-vous. And if you're a typical guy from Jamestown, you can say je viens de Jamestown. Je viens de Jamestown. Proudly from Jamestown. So je viens de Jamestown, or you can say je viens de Tanochrome, je viens de Twobodom. I'm sure you remember that song. I have a friend who comes from Twobodom, so I've never forgotten. So je viens de Twobodom. You can also say je viens de Takwa, je viens de Keta, je viens d'Anglogan, je viens de Wa, je viens de Navongo, je viens de Bono. Ça dépend de vous. It depends on you. So you say where you come from, and then so when you have the question d'où viens-tu or d'où venez-vous, these are some of the responses that you can give. And then another interesting question that some older folks would want to ask people they meet: tu es marié ou célibataire? Tu es marié ou célibataire? Of course, you can also have the formal version: vous êtes marié ou célibataire. I hope you've noticed that this ou doesn't have an accent, whilst this ou has an accent. So this ou is where, and this ou is or. And so when it means or, there's no accent. When it means where, there's an accent to distinguish between the two. So, are you married or? Célibataire is single. Single. So those students in uni who have been writing single, please stop it. You don't say marié ou single. It's marié ou célibataire. I know it sounds like celebrity, but célibataire, it comes from celibat, celibacy. If you can think of the nuns and the Catholic priests who take vows of celibacy, that they are not going to get married because they are married to Jesus and all that. That's the root of this word. So, tu es marié ou célibataire. It doesn't mean that if you are célibataire, you decided you won't marry. It's just that the French for single and married is célibataire. So, tu es marié ou célibataire. Then you can respond, je suis marié or je suis célibataire. Je suis marié. My director says I should use different colors. So, je suis marié. And if you're a female, you add an extra E, or je suis célibataire. Alright, so today we focused on asking somebody where they live, where they come from, and whether they are married or single. Où habites-tu? J'habite à Adenta. D'où viens-tu? Je viens de Jamestown. Tu es marié ou célibataire? Je suis marié, évidemment. Moi, je suis marié. D'accord. So, I hope that you've enjoyed the lesson. As usual, practice, practice, practice. Until you speak it, you will not master it. So please speak it with your friends.
Bonjour, I'm Nanama. Thanks for watching the video till the end. Don't forget to like, share, and leave us a comment below so we know how you are doing.